Thank you for choosing to rent the Cruiser Hitch. We're going to give you a quick tour, the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts of this beautiful travel trailer. Let's take a look. One of the first things you want to do when you get to your camping destination is make sure that the trailer is level. There is the electric tongue jack right here that you can simply use a button right here to level it from front to back. If you need to level from side to side, which you shouldn't need to because most campsites will be nice and level, but if you do, you can use the included jack blocks. Once you get your camper nice and level, you'll want to drop down all 4 stabilization jacks. There's one on each corner. Something to keep in mind, these are not for leveling the vehicle, only to keep it nice and stable while you're at your campsite. Included with your rental will be a fresh drinking water hose. If water is provided at your campsite, you'll use city water to put water into the vehicle. The city water intake is right here, obviously plugging into your campsite water source into the camper. Now, if you don't have water provided at your campsite, we do recommend you fill the tank before reaching your destination, but not before you do your total road trip. We prefer to not have a full tank of water when you're traveling, but you do want to make sure that you fill up before you get settled in your campsite. At that point, there is a water pump on board to make sure you have pressurized water for your sink and your shower. If you are planning to camp without access to city water, which means no pressurized water into the vehicle, you can fill up your water tank here just on the outside, right by the main entrance. And it's as simple as getting your water source and dumping in there. It's a 46-gallon tank. It is recommended to not travel with this full, so if you are needing to fill it as close as you can to your final destination. Provided with your rental, it will be a 30-amp power cord. When you get to your campsite, plug into the outlet provided there, and then right on into your camper. It's straight in. And then lock it in with this retention ring, and now you have powered your campsite. Let's talk sewage. There are a lot of things to think about when you're setting everything up at your campsite. The first thing is, if you have a dump station right at your site, feel free to go ahead and hook it up. First thing you do is you take this end right here, this adapter, and twist it right on the receiver here at the trailer. This is a universal adapter that will plug into any dump station simply by screwing it on. Once you screw it in to the actual dump station, you'll take your main hose, give it a little twist, and now you're set to go at your dump station. Once you're hooked up at your campsite with your sewage, we don't want you to open everything up. We want the actual tanks to fill up. And to determine how full they are, you can refer to your monitor inside on the control panel at the trailer. Once your tanks are full, we'll begin the process of dumping. Start with your black water dump first. You'll know the difference between the two with the handle. You have a black water handle and a gray water handle. So open the black first and then the gray. And once those are dumped, remember to close them back up. If you're going to continue to camp after doing this first dump, then you'll want to make sure to put more chemicals in the tank to break down any human waste. If you are done, then we'll go ahead and show you how to do a black water rinse, and that can be found on the back end of the trailer. While still connected to the dump station, your sewage system will need to be flushed before you finish the cleaning process. In the back of the trailer is a black water flushing intake. You'll take a hose, plug it in here, turn that hose on, and make sure that you're flushing the system into the dump station. And now make sure that you have the valves open in order to make sure that the water is actually flushing through. If you do not have a dump station at your campsite, you will have to physically move the trailer on your way out to the dump site provided at your campground, and do this process the same way we just explained as if it was at your own campsite, including the flushing of the black water tank here. Just inside the main door of the trailer, you'll see a control panel right here, and once you've got everything leveled and plugged in, your sewer and your water, we can expand the slider. The slider control is right here, the far left bottom, And all you do is you hold it in until it stops moving any longer, and you will have opened up your space. It's very obvious when it's reached its final resting place. And now you have an expanded trailer. Checking your water levels is as simple as depressing these buttons here. You have your freshwater tank button here. You can see how much water is in the freshwater tank. Your black water to see if it's full or empty, and your gray water tank right here. When using the water pump, refer back to your main control panel just inside the front door. The upper left blue switch turned on. You will oftentimes hear an audible sound that is letting you know that the water pump is on. To extend and retract the awning, refer to the control panel here right inside the front door. Press and hold to extend, and press and hold to retract. It's important to note that if you're not plugged in and you're leaving the trailer for an extended period of time, or if it's just sitting in your driveway, that you do use the battery disconnect switch, which is right here on the main control panel. Your Hitch is equipped with a complete bathroom. You've got a shower, a sink, and a commode. It's important to know that only human waste in this commode and RV grade toilet paper. And it's also good to know, as you're using this, where are we at in regards to how full are we? You can check the monitor just inside the door and make sure that it's not time to dump. When it's time to dump, do so. To control the heat and air in this unit, there is one central unit here on the wall. The on-off switch is the bottom center button. You'll turn it on there, and you can cycle through the modes with that same button. So you've got cool, heat, fan, as well as a dry mode, which is also a dehumidifier. And you can control the temperatures on either side with the arrows up and then down, and then the fan control in the center. So there are some gas appliances available in this unit. Obviously your stove and your heater. We also have a gas electric refrigerator. Now if you're traveling on steep grades, if you're planning on going up through the mountains, it is advised to turn this off. It really needs level ground to work appropriately. So if you're cruising down on a low terrain and a nice even flat grounds, let's say you're driving down to Florida, you can leave this on. It is also recommended that if you're pulling into a gas station to fill up, that you do shut this off. Now there's a pilot light that keeps this thing going, and if you're at a gas station, obviously with exposure to fumes, it could be considered dangerous. So before you pull in to get gas, jump back here, turn this thing off, and then when you're done getting gasoline, you can roll out and turn it back on. It is also recommended to have it on the auto switch, so that way when you're plugged into shore power, it'll automatically take over to electric power. If you need to convert the dinette into a bed, well, it's a simple process. It's friction fit into the poles underneath. Just lift the table up and put these to the side. You can pull the poles out as well and set them out of the way. And then just use the tabletop as the centerpiece of the bed. From here, move your cushions to the center, and your bed conversion is complete. There truly is nothing better than sitting outside of your camper, enjoying a beautiful afternoon with nice shade and your awning. And we hope you utilize this awning as much as possible. However, there are some things that you should keep in mind. If it's starting to rain, there's a good chance there's some wind behind that. If there's any wind at all, you want to reel this thing in. If you are leaving the campsite for any reason at all, reel it in. Always reel it in. And if you happen to just get a little bit of rain, this one has a special feature where you can actually pull one side and drain the rain off. But again, if there's any wind involved at all, reel it in. Well, that concludes the instructional video of the Cruiser Hitch. We hope you got all the information that you need to feel comfortable for your next adventure. Have a great time on the road.